Welcome back to U.S. Farm Report this weekend. Well, a very big report week. Several reports to go through. We have Matt Bennett of agmarket.net as well as Joe Vaklovic of Standard Grain to go through everything. All right, guys, as expected, USDA survey found farmers intend to plant less corn and more soybeans this year. But when you look at the principal crop acres, that's down more than 6 million year over year. Was that the biggest surprise, Matt?
Yeah, I believe it was a big surprise. The biggest surprise for me, of course, was 90 million acres of corn. We thought that corn acres wouldn't be near as high as what some of the other folks have been saying. Uh, First of all, last fall was a fantastic fall for field work. We know that a lot of folks got a lot of stuff done, but the economics of the situation have changed quite a bit. So we felt like that would temper these corn acres somewhat. Our estimate was 91.5, but it was a big surprise to come out with 90, and trade was certainly surprised by it. And so you see a little bit of price reaction there. As we went to record this, actually prices were substantially stronger, and I think that it shows you that the trade, with an average trade guess well above this 90, certainly was a surprise as well.
We all know a lot can change, Joe, but for now, does this change the momentum of the markets?
I think it could. You've got a big fund short in the corn market in particular, and maybe some of these large money managers are going to look at this situation or take a second look at this situation following the report. That being said, what I did after the report was I took the new acreage numbers, I punched it into the USDA Ag Outlook Forum balance sheet for new crop corn, and it's still a bearish situation. I mean, it's still a 2 billion plus carry out and a 15 or 16% stocks to use ratio. That being said, it makes things a little bit more sensitive. If you were to run into a weather problem or some better demand, it makes things a little bit more sensitive. I think there's a strong likelihood that you see a significant acreage shift in the June report, but for now, yeah, it's absolutely supportive.
Matt, you talked about the big surprise when it came to corn acres. Soybean acres, though, was it pretty much in line with what the trade expected?
It was, 86 and a half on soybeans, pretty much where everyone thought this was going to be. I think when you look at this was as of March 1. And so I stop and think about what was a farmer's mentality as of March 1, because it's obviously a survey based approach. And, corn hadn't started rallying yet. Corn started rallying the week of Commodity Classic, right there at the end of February, 1st of March. And I got to think that the farmer's mentality was, I don't even want to plant corn. So I think Joe's right in that you could see a pretty good size shift, especially if you get some strength in this corn market going over to soybeans. I mean, not really seeing a whole lot of anything go on there as far as the market's concerned, which probably makes sense. In fact, I think that the bean market would have maybe struggled a little bit if it wouldn't have been for so much strength in the corn and wheat market. So bottom line is, I think the bean number, it's not friendly whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't say it's super bearish, but you got to think you got a pretty good sized carry out. Now you're piling 86.5 million acres on top of it. So you've got to think that you could have some tough sledding ahead as far as this bean situation goes with more acres.
Well, USDA also showing that wheat seedings, those intentions, those are down 4% from 2023. Intended cotton acres, those are actually on the rise. That's up 4% from last year. I mean, we had a lot of acreage numbers. It wasn't just corn and beans. We had a lot of acreage numbers come out with the prospective plantings report, Joe. But how accurate is this report typically?
It's not accurate. USDA will be the first to tell you that they're not big fans of this report. They know that they don't start to get a feel for the acreage situation until June. And even after that, there's precedent for sizable adjustments. You could see corn acreage adjusted 2 million in October. For all I know, it's happened before. So this is a starting point. And for the moment, these are the numbers until we see new numbers in June.
All right. Well, we also had grain stocks that came out Thursday. We had cattle on feed this week. Like I said, it was just a lot of reports to digest this week. So we'll talk about more of that coming up right after the break.
U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Germinator Steel Closing Wheels. Perfected in conventional, excels in no-till. Order your Germinator closing wheels today.